Hey guys, it's Spaces Sims, and we are back with more My Next Life as a Villainess, continuing Alan's route, and Ryle and Liliana were about to get into an argument, and we're hiding and pretending we can't hear this, but obviously we can hear everything, and that's good for my nosy ass, because I want to know what's happening here. I want them to admit they love each other. You know, whatever. So, I told you already, if you stay married to me, trouble will come for you too. Nothing would trouble me, no matter what happens. Don't be a fool. There's no way you'll be happy being with a man like me. Why are you making assumptions of my feelings? I was happy being with you, Lord Ryle. Say that because you know nothing. I'm not worthy. That's not true. I want to be with you, Lord Ryle. I can't fathom not being with you. Me to every Up Glasses character normally. I can't fathom not being with you. Listen, I'm not gonna try to steal her man, okay? Because she seems sweet. I'm not gonna do that. I'm already stealing Mary's man and, like, stole all of Maria's harem. I can't take another man from another woman here, you know? But, like, yeah. Even if I were to be a criminal? And we're like, a criminal? Oh, I like those cop shows. Alan and I look at one another upon hearing that word. We stare at them intently as Liliana looks at Ryle, pale as a ghost. Is that what those cages were for? I just thought you bought me a bunch of dogs. I'm kidding. What do you mean by that? Liliana has her hand over her mouth as Ryle has a nervous expression on his face, realizing that he said too much. There's a long, awkward pause. Eventually, Ryle's the one to break the silence. Liliana, I was going to commit a crime on this ship. So, that was why I wanted a divorce. That's all gone to waste now. Wait, no. Just wait. I was gonna commit a crime, but that's all gone to waste! That's an odd way to phrase that, sir. I mean, like, I was gonna commit a crime on the ship, but, well, that's not an issue anymore. Okay, that's the way to phrase it, where, like, you don't know, but saying that's all gone to waste is like you're disappointed that the pirates foiled you, and, like, I mean, you probably are, but, like, try to cover it up a little, bitch. Jesus. You were going to commit a crime? Yes. Would you still want to be with me? Well, I mean, it depends on the crime. You know, like, selling people into slavery, probably not, but, like, I doubt she's thinking that level. She's like, what were you gonna steal or, like, embezzle? And he's like, I was gonna sell everyone on this ship and then sink it. Yeah, that's a line I'm not willing to cross. Well, of course, because I love you, Lord Ryle. What? But you and I, this is an arranged marriage. Weren't you forced? I was not. I had always had feelings for you, Lord Ryle. This is becoming more and more serious. It's too awkward to step out now. Pretend you're not there, consult Ellen. Just pretend you're not there, girl. We're not here. Yeah, pretend we're not fucking here. I had no choice but to erase my existence. I ducked down once again in order to not be seen. We're not seen or heard, but we can totally hear them. However, Alan's too tall. His head is slightly peeking out from our hiding spot. We're gonna see him at this rate. They know you're there. It's not like you're hiding. Like, oh shit, shh, they didn't hear us come in. You're like, we're gonna go over here in the corner. They know you're in the room. I guess it's like at the moment you're thinking like we're hiding so they won't remember that we're here and they'll be focused on their own shit and it won't distract them and they can work out their problems, where now they're going to be like, ah, fuck, there's people here, I forgot, you know? I try and hold Alan's head down, but for some reason he resists. What the? Stop. Don't do that. Don't, Prince Alan. You're going to break their world. No, I know. Touch me. Lord Ryle, I really do love you, so I do not want a divorce. If you had committed a crime, then that crime is mine to bear as well. I will receive punishment with you. That's noble of you, but girl, maybe he won't commit the crime now. Liliana, stop. If you understood how despicable I am, you wouldn't continue to say that. I mean, can I blame her though? No, because he's like an adorkable nerd. You're like you're just like the little. You're like a nerdy accountant. You got glasses. You're kind of like nerd. Like I'm. Listen, any sexy motherfucker doesn't matter. And you slap glasses on him into it, but like he's got his own appeal as like the look at you. You're like a little nerd with glasses. I'm here for it. So like I'm kind of on Liliana's side. Like I mean, I don't think you should. I don't like that you were gonna sell people. That's kind of fucked up, sir. But like, you know, she loves you that much. She's like, no, you and me, we in this boat together, man. My love can change you. That's how I would be looking at it. I mean, that's what I've learned from Otome games is we can change them, right? I can change him. I can fix him. It's fine. All he needs to do is meet me, fall madly in love with me, and then he's suddenly not a crime lord anymore. Cool. You know, or you just have to be totally cool with the crimes. Selling people is a little much. They're my friends. Can we not sell them into slavery? Like, that's... Sell drugs. Embezzle. Whatever. But don't sell people. That's weird. There's a line. You know, catapult kids into the sun. Fine, whatever, but don't sell human beings. Catapulting kids into the sun is different, okay? You know? Look, we all got our lines, all right? But, like, you know, I can't really blame her. She's so in love with him, she'll just deal with it. Look at what we've put up with in other games we've played. That's not true. I will accept you for... I'm not the man you think I am. Please. Don't make me feel more pathetic than I already do. Ryle covers his face with both hands and sobs painfully. Aww. He hates everyone just because we have magic, and that's a little like, sir, I need you to, like, get a therapist as opposed to, like, hatching an evil villain plan to sell human beings. But, like, it's still, no, you just need some therapy, sweetie. Eventually, he looks up and reveals a face full of self-mockery. Well, since we're here, I might as well have you know everything about me. Prince Alan, Lady Katerina, please come out. Huh? Before I could answer, Alan gets up first. He walks up to Ryle and sits in front of him. All right. We're held hostage by the pirates anyway, and there's nothing else to do. So what crime were you talking about earlier? What were you trying to do on the vinculum? I will tell you everything. Liliana will then understand the man she claims to love is not the man she thinks he is. Liliana says she still wants to be with me after everything. Then help her see reason. Did you commit this crime? No. Will you still commit this crime now that the pirates have stepped in? No. Okay, well then I see no problem. Let it go. We'll just pretend it never happened. Okay. Thank you. Ryle sighs and his gaze falls towards his hands. I do like that it kind of seems to be playing out differently. Like, the last time Ryle got kidnapped, he tried to kill Keith, blah, 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 whatever, all this shit. And this time he's like, well, like, my wife is here, so I guess I can. And the pirate, like, whatever. And it's like, maybe it's been, like, beaten out of him to try to sell people. Because he was still trying really hard to regain control and sell us in Keith's route. He was trying really fucking valiantly to keep this plan afloat. You know what I mean? And I feel like he's kind of the defeated and beaten down here. So, like, maybe he's not gonna... It's like, maybe Liliana being here fixed him. Cool, good for her, you know? His profile shows shadows of deep fatigue. I always hated magic. The Werder family's a family that's always produced children with strong magical abilities. Despite that, I was born with no magical powers. When to think of it, I've heard of that. You didn't enter the academy because you were born with no magic. But that's pretty common in this day and age. I don't have much magical powers either. Although there are many children born with magical powers, it varies in level. There are even cases where a commoner is born with elemental magic, like light magic. Yes, I know that it's common. However, it was abnormal in the Werder family. The family's all about magical powers. I was born as the heir of the Werder family, but hold no magical powers. I'm a target of scrutiny from other members in the family. After continuous ridicule and criticism, my mother has become emotionally and physically ill. My father became an alcoholic due to depression. I feel like that's not like you're taking this as a child when you were a child and being like, it's all my fault because I don't have magical abilities. And it's like, it's not your fault that you were born without magical abilities. It's outside your control. And one, your parents did not handle it well because they should not have become an alcoholic / like literally driven herself, your mother emotionally and physically made herself ill with all this. Okay. They were so concerned about it, but also, even if they were concerned and worried and whatever, the outside forces of the family harassing them about it also shouldn't have, played a part in it. But, so it's not fully on his parents, but, your parents, the way they handled it doesn't seem, it's not like they were driven to it by the family harassing them, but they loved you anyway and they just couldn't handle it, whatever, like, they got beaten down by external forces like the family and saying things. No, it just sounds like they were probably disappointed in you too, and that's not on you. Like, your whole family kind of sucks. Still doesn't justify you turning into a jackass trying to sell everyone, but every family member will repeat to me that they don't need a Werder who can't use magic as the head of the family. That is horrible. We're speechless at Ryle's story, then he suddenly chuckles to himself, but it's one of self-loathing. As a result, the Werder family fortune had begun to decline. Magical powers were all that mattered to the Werder family, so they began using magic stones and medicines to create powerful offspring. So I threw myself into books. I studied territorial business and economics. I tried to compensate with areas outside of magic. I became successful as an entrepreneur. I was able to restructure the Werder fortune. Finally thought I'd be accepted. However, the family's reaction didn't change. The more results I produced, the louder the criticisms of me became. Which is again, that's really fucked up. It's not like you try and you fail and you're just you're like, I'm useless and everything I do I fail at. It's bad enough on your own psyche, and then your family is like, you're worthless and useless. You busted your ass. You restructured the family. You're like, look at all this fucking money I'm making for you. Look at what I'm doing. And they're like, God, even more disgusted with you than just not having, how the gymnastics they had to go through to get to that point is amazing. They should be in the Olympics. Are we switching to... We are. Oh. Ryle sure is something. If only he had magical powers. That would have been so much better. I know, no matter how able he is, if he doesn't have magical powers, he can't be the head of the family. At the least, if he were to wed with Liliana, who's known for her magical powers, I guess I'd be able to accept him. Despite being born directly into the Werder family and increasing the family fortune, I wasn't worthy enough to carry the family name. Yet that is some serious fucked up shit. And I, as my family wished, got married to Liliana and earned my position as Marquis Ryle Werder. What? This is the arranged marriage that Liliana was talking about? Despite being part of the main family lineage, because I had no magical powers, I was only able to become a Marquis by marrying Liliana. I'm only able to become Marquis of my own family because I married some other person with Again, the mental gymnastics your family went through just to fucking because you didn't have magic. Jesus. They suck. My family assumed that by marrying Liliana, who has powerful magic lineage, we'd be able to produce a child with magical abilities. presence or absence of magical powers affecting your social status is something that's only present in the noble society of Sorcier. Among the Sorcier nobles, I may be a heretic, but in the eyes of other kingdoms, Sorcier is heretical. Wow. As I learned about other kingdoms through trade, I realized that such a small concept ate away at my heart. You go out into the world, I, the one without magical powers, am the normal one. I wanted to prove to everyone that Ryle bites his lip as it quivered. Ryle looks at the floor in despair as Liliana quietly approaches him. Liliana puts her hand on Ryle's. He reactively looks up at Liliana and his eyes close with regret. So I was thinking of carrying the nobles on this ship to sell. What? Sell? Don't tell me. I do various trades with various people. That was when I came to a realization. The world's filled with people who want the magical powers of a Sorcier noble. What the? Alan's like, the fuck? I mean, Ryle, seriously, Jesus. I realize how much better off I'd be if we lived in a society where less people wielded magical powers. I almost could kind of, I'm not saying I could get behind him, but like if he was like, yeah, well, my plan was to sink the ship and let everybody die, you know. Yeah, I was gonna rig the ship to blow, and we were gonna have me and Set were gonna escape, and we were gonna make sure everybody else drowned, you magical fucks. You know what I mean? Like, I was gonna murder everyone and say the ship sunk, and you'd be like, I can kind of almost be like, alright. He's like, no. I want to get rid of magical people, so I should sell them, make money, and then we just pretend they died. And actually, you know what? Now that I'm saying that, that's a little more ingenious, so it's diabolical, and I guess I have to give you credit for going above and beyond. You're not just like, I hate magical people and I should kill them all. Wahahaha. You're like, no. I'm gonna sell them and make money. And then pretend I killed them all. Well, pretend they died accidentally in a ship sinking. Oh, the tragedy, the horror. So, like, shit. But at least you've got to give him a little bit of, I mean, I got to give him credit for that's a genius plan. You're making money off of that and getting rid of all the people that you hate. So, sure. But also, we got to give him a little bit of credit for being like, my wife deserves better than me, so we should get a divorce so she shouldn't have to deal with this shit. Like, that kind of just shows you care about her, though, you know? Because you could have just been like, and then I'll stay married to her, and like, you know? But you care enough about her to be like, she doesn't need to be with a heathen like me. I'll divorce her, she can do better, and then I'll kill all the magic people. Well, sell them. Pretend they died. Sure. Okay. Yeah. I'm not on board with your plan. I mean, I'm on board because I'm trapped here, but like, I'm not really on board with your plan. But like, gotta give you credit for thinking above and beyond instead of just killing everybody. So, I knew I couldn't wish for such a future, but couldn't resist. You bastard! Why did you think you would get away with that, Prince Alan? Alan grabs Ryle's shirt by the chest and pulls him up toward him. Alan looks furious, glaring harshly at Ryle. No matter how much of a grudge you're holding, there are things you just can't do. I know. I have no rebuttal. I know nothing actually happened, but the sin is mine to bear. In order for this plan to go into effect, is this shipbuilding project. I created a ship targeted to nobles for such plans. Not only that, I even created a horrific sachet so no one would resist. Oh, yeah, no, I kind of forgot about the sachets. Never mind, that's a good point. I was like, why the fuck does no one else use their Never mind. Like, we explained the whole sachet thing in Keith's route, and I totally fucking forgot. Like, because earlier, several hours ago, I'm sure somebody pointed out, but again, none of these have gone up yet. But, like, I totally fucking forgot. Liliana's just, like, blasting away with her magic. I'm like, why is no one else doing that? Like, I understand the princes can't. And, like, okay, wind magic, we're sneaking, and we're trying to, but, like, well, I think it's because in our group, like, it makes sense the sachets is kind of, like, other people's magic is not as strong, so like whatever, because of the sachets, whatever. But our group is always constantly using their magic. I mean, I don't have any. The princes can't. But like, you've got Sophia and Nickel that are always like using their wind magic to spy on things and stuff. So it just doesn't dawn on you that there's like really any problem until like Keith was getting sick, and then it was like, okay, it's a sachet. Oh, okay. He's just more affected by them. Like some people are more affected by certain scents than others, and like whatever it's supposed to be like. Or he just notices it more. Everybody else, it's like like they don't notice. Oh, it smells nice, whatever, and they don't realize it's in fact impacting them. But like our group never seems to be impacted at all. Like I don't know, man. My magic doesn't seem to be what it used to be. It's always like, oh yeah, no, I can do that when needed. So it's like they didn't consider that with our grouping, really. So I guess that's why I keep forgetting about it, and I'm like, why doesn't anybody else just use their magic? If the nobles here have magical abilities, why is nobody using magic? Right, the sachets weakened them and everything, but it never impacts our group aside from Keith. Everybody else uses their magic like nobody's fucking business as needed without being like, things are weird. Why does my magic not work right? And then other times they don't use it at all. But it's like I feel like it would have been better if there was an in between. Like, Sophia and Nicole using their wind magic to listen in or whatever, and then they're like, I don't know, something's wrong. I'm not feeling right, or like I can't get my like where you noticed in earlier routes maybe that like the magic was sparse and something was blocking it, and everybody kind of noticed like, what's happening, where it like was in your head sooner. Because we spent the common route, nothing really happened. Well, we got off the boat on the island, I guess, and the same with Jordo's. So I guess the only time we were really on here was Keith. But anytime we've been on the boat, nobody's been impacted and everybody's been able to use magic as needed. As needed. They haven't used magic, but there's never been anything like, well, we're not using magic because of the sachets. It's always just been like, let's just pretend we don't have magic until we need it for plot purposes. And I just think they could have done a little bit better with that, I guess. Because I kind of forget, like, right, the sachets, right, okay, that's why nobody's using it. Anyway. Sachet? Wait, what do you mean? There are effects to weaken people in that sachet. I used the sachet to weaken Sorcier nobles so they couldn't fight back with their magic. I planted them in every room. That's why he asked to put that away earlier. What? Did you... Liliana, don't you see? Much of a fool I am. Oh, she slapped him. Before he could finish his sentence, Ryle receives a grand slap across his face. She's not going to be like, how dare you sell people? She's like, how dare you figure it out worthy of me, but also come up with that stupid plan? Please be both of those. Liliana slaps Ryle in the face with her eyes filled with tears. Her shoulders quiver. I'm sure she's mad at the thought that he was going to sell people, but also like, how dare you think you're not worthy of me type of thing. Please, I want it to be both, because like, I know she loves him, so. Liliana. You're an idiot, Lord Ryle! You did such a horrible thing! Why did you involve innocent people? Didn't I just tell you? I hate magic. Then you must hate a woman like me! Someone who you were forced to marry! Someone from a powerful magical lineage! Everything you hate! Why did you want me far from this ship? Oh, well... Ryle struggles to get his words across and looks away. His face turns slightly red. I hate magic, but I love you! Oh, Liliana. Because I love you. What? Aww. It's kind of fucked up. Like, his whole situation, but you know. Oh my. Feeling a little awkward, Alan and I look at one another, but their conversation continues. We're like, okay, shh. We'll just stand still and they won't know we're here. That can't be true. Then why did you want a divorce? If this plan fails, I would have taken you down with me. My sins were to become public. I cannot prevent myself from an ultimate sentence. I want you to be affected by it. What? I ended up not signing it. But so long as you get all of the documents together, I figure we could end our marriage. Besides, if everything were settled and we returned and you didn't sign anything, I still calculated that we would have time where you and I could enjoy our lives together. I'm that horrible of a man. You really are a fool, Lord Ryle. Oh, right. I'm a fool. So adorable, though. If my plan were to succeed, for me to return to your side as a sinner, be able to face you. Lord Ryle. He cries as Liliana embraces him. So adorable. They've been married for like 10 fucking years and they're absolutely in love. But like, so like you've been married for like a decade. You never touched your wife, did you? You were like, yeah, we're married. Okay, and she's like, he's never gonna consummate the marriage, and she's like just been waiting. He's like, I have no right. I love her, but I have no right, and like nothing ever happened. You idiots. Adorable. Sorry. I'm so sorry, Liliana. Hey, you made this poor bitch wait 10 years for her wedding night. Like, she's been pining over you. You've been pining over her. You guys are dumbasses. I love it, though. It's kind of fun. It's okay, Lord Ryle. I feel like I'm watching a scene from a romance movie. Just as I'm about to clap, Alan lets out a painful sigh next to me. Can we just forget what Ryle was gonna do? Because he's not gonna do it now. I see. Sorry for butting in, but may I... Oh. Yes, sure. Sorry, Prince Alan. It's okay. I now understand what's going on. In other words, Marquis Werder was planning to sell us to people outside of this kingdom. However, in the end, the pirates attacked, and you couldn't execute your plan, right? Yes, exactly. Ryle nods with a stern look. His eyes look determined. But after seeing Liliana, seeing her face, I've finally woken up. See? I'm just saying. All it takes is a woman to be like, I love you! And he's like, I don't want to do anything bad anymore. I just want to live a wholesome life. Just like that, like a snap of the motherfucking fingers. Granted, it took 10 years and he developed this plan, but like, whatever. I know even plotting it's a sin. I will accept any form of punishment. Let's just not tell anyone. But please, don't let the sins be paid off only by me. Liliana had nothing to do with this. Lord Ryle. Don't be so uptight. This isn't about me doing something to you immediately. And like, he's like, immediately! He's like, we're on this ship, and we're still in custody of the pirates. We will have to verify everything later. Our priority should just be to get out of the situation. We can do official investigations when we return. As you wish. Thank you so much, Prince Alan. Like, okay, we already knew, but Set's got some other... Was Set doing some other fucking shit? Was he doing some other shady shit behind the scenes? Because he kidnapped... Or is he like, Ryle's like, I was gonna do this, and I'm not even gonna talk about Set's plan, because that ain't my business. Like, whatever. Like, because Set kidnapped fucking Maria. You know what I mean? Or was that just, like, thrown in for the common route, like, whatever type of a thing, and that's really nothing, like, it's not even part of the main plot. Like, you know? We'll see. Ellen turns away coldly. Since he's a prince, he has to be strict, but he understands the situation. That's the look he gives. Ellen's kind after all. If it were Jordo here instead, he wouldn't be as kind, and a punishment would have been issued as soon as we returned back home. And considering what you said about the sachet, and Jordo, who's still trapped in a room exposed to it, is in danger. It weakens people. What exactly does it do? The scent in the sachet has an effect when inhaled for a certain amount of time. You'll start feeling sick. Sick? It isn't anything that'll affect your life, however. And no poison will be left in the body either. No side effects. The effects are very temporary, so if you rest in an aired-out space, you'd get better immediately. I see. How soon do the effects show? It's already shown to be working. On the second day of the party, several guests had already been affected, bringing the attendance down. However, the effects differ depending on the person. Seeing how many people attend to the party, it didn't seem to be much of an issue. Didn't feel sick either. How about you, Katerina? I barely have magic. Me neither. I didn't feel nauseous or anything. Everyone reacts differently. However, Jordo and the other passengers are still stuck in their rooms. We need to get them away from the sachet as soon as possible. But informing the pirates of this would only help them. He has a point. Supposedly, they're after a ransom. And it does feel beneficial for them if their hostages are docile. This is a headache. And there's still things I want to ask the Marquis. Alan's expression tightens as he glares at Ryle. And there's no way you were able to execute this plan alone. If you were planning to make the passengers sick, carry them off on a ship to sell them, there'd have to be an accomplice on the ship. See, Alan, okay. Alan's smart. He's like, wait, you didn't do this alone. Right, it was set. Someone on the ship is working with you. Oh, Alan seems sharper than usual. Alan makes a valid point. Usually Jordo's the one who's good with these kinds of things. Yeah, but he ain't here, so, Alan's like, finally, I can actually get to solve the mysteries. I get to be the Scooby Gang now. I'm impressed that Alan was able to deduce all of this. He's been doing a good job socializing and networking at the party this whole time. But he never shows that side of him when he's with everyone. It's refreshing to see Alan think so sharply for once. You see through it all, don't you? You're right, Prince Alan, I do have an accomplice. I knew it. Where are they? Unfortunately, I have no idea. Our relationship is based on pure mutual interest. We only communicated for work. We didn't share much personal info with one another. Ah, so Ryle doesn't know who his benefactor is. Interesting. That's smart. Stupid, but smart. Because if one gets caught, the other goes free. Smart on their part. And smart of the game to be like, that Ryle has no idea. This way he's like, he can't be like, I'm not going to tell you. He wants to, he's like, I don't want to go with this plan, and everything was wrong, and I'll take punishment, and I would tell you who was helping me if I knew who was helping me, but I really have no fucking idea. Sorry, bro. You know what I mean? I don't know what became of them during this whole pirate debacle. But seeing the reactions of the pirates, it appears he's on his own. And they pressured me, asking me whether I knew their whereabouts. That's why you were so injured. Yes, but I guess they weren't there at the hidden room. Oh, to think of it, they were discussing that earlier. I see. That's why Silva was asking about the hidden room. Yes, I don't know why the pirates knew about the secret room. It seems like they also had the passenger list, so they must have assumed there was someone hiding on this ship. Passenger list, huh? And come to think of it, Lady Warder mentioned the same thing. Then the pirates came very prepared. Yeah, 'cause the pirates, are here to save nap us. A hidden room, huh? Surprised they built that. I anticipated various things and made preparations. I thought I could have use for it. You sure came prepared. Who would have thought pirates knew of it? Well, if there is a room, there's someone who built it. I'm sure information leaked through there. Oh, that was Alan saying that, sorry. Sorry, wait. Well, if there's a room, there's someone who built it. I'm sure information leaked through there. Right? Right? Like, Rozzy found out. I'm pretty sure Rozzy fucking figured it out. Yeah. Rozzy couldn't be, the person that Ryle was, partnered with. I really feel like it's set. He kidnapped fucking what's-her-face in the very beginning. You know what I mean? So, I do feel like maybe we shouldn't have done the common route one first. But, whatever. Set and Frederick being evil is okay. Ryle wanting to sell people. I mean, at least in the common route when you do it, you're like, Ryle was just dragged along and whatever. You still don't think he's evil and masterminding this whole thing, and you're like, well, shit. I still think Rossi's masterminding the pirate attack to save us all. Now, I don't know why he would have been, unless he was like a government plant kind of thing, where he's like, people have been doing horrible things, and wait, somehow Ryle gets in touch with him or something, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go with this and say I'm totally invested in helping you smuggle people and sell them because we gotta crack down on this human trafficking shit. And he's like, helping whoever, because he's someone super important. We know that. It was a secret. That, again, the nurse was going to call him, yeah, engineer guy. You're like, come on. He's going to call him Lord, right? So he's someone important. So, you know, at least I think she was going to call him Lord. That was my assumption. But, like, I feel like he's still someone important. So, like, he could have been, like, a plant, you know, like, he's definitely orchestrated. I 100% think he orchestrated the pirates helping us. But was he, like, well, like, helping? I'm using air quotes around helping here. Ryle, like, in order to, like, help his own government or whatever catch whoever was human trafficking. You know what I mean? Like an undercover cop. Was he playing undercover cop / undercover royalty / pretending to be an engineer? Like, Jesus. Maybe he's also really an engineer, you know, and somehow owns a chocolate he's basically fucking Willy Wonka working for the cops and also royalty. Or like a lord or duke or some shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, he makes candy. He's fucking like, he's like king tier Willy Wonka. Like, he's Lord Wonka over here. That's bizarre, but okay, sure, I'm here for it. Anyway. But who would have thought the Marquis would devise such a grand plan? And does Lord Norden know of this plan? Oh, that's right. He built the ship with him. I recall Set giving this long and arrogant greeting at the party. I didn't tell him anything. And come to think of it, Silva mentioned him sneaking out too. What? He's on the run too? Yes, that's why the pirates asked me where the secret passages and rooms were. And since I did let him know of the secret rooms in case of emergency. I see. But he was nowhere to be found, huh? Yes. Judging from the pirates' reactions, that would be the case. I guess he's still on the run. If he gets caught, it won't be good. He'll have no mercy to anyone who resists. Well, that's not true. They beat the crap out of him because they knew Ryle was involved. Well, they would have no mercy on Set. That's true, because I think Set's involved. So, and I assume they're assuming that too. I hope Lord Frederick reunited with him, but united? Yeah, we ran into Lord Frederick, who claimed to have been separated from Lord Norden. He immediately set out to go look for him again. Even if he found him, he alone wouldn't be able to protect him. That's true, unless Frederick's involved in, like, not in the protecting Norden, but he's gonna kick Norden's ass. That would have been, that's be an interesting twist. Because he said united. Running from the pirates is already tough enough with just Liliana, Allen, and me. But now we have Set, who's an old man, and Frederick, who worries me. His Excellency did claim to hate pirates. I hope they aren't fighting. Oh, he hates pirates? I was gonna be like, who loves pirates? Okay, aside from like weirdos like us who are like playing Atome games or watching movies, but in reality, who loves a pirate? Like, you want to be on a ship and you're like, yeah, pirate attack. You're like, no, that sounds like a bad time. Well, who wouldn't? Yeah, I'm with Alan. Okay, I mean, I get it. I'm absolutely in love with Silva, and I'm here for the pirates, but this is a fantasy Atome game, okay? This isn't reality. Reality, I'm with Alan. Like, yeah, hi, what? He's right. Right. Well, he has lost a lot of money due to the Weiss pirates. Lord Frederick is a major general of the Navy and would often try to capture them, but they would escape. Okay, so maybe Set was the one running in... I was talking about his merchant ships or whatever, in Keith's route. They probably won't get along very well. Yes, should he be detained, I'm sure he'll put up a good fight. This isn't a good time for that. Hope he just stays calm. Well, none of the pirates are women if you're talking about Frederick, so it's fine. Lord Norden is a noble, but we can't have him hurt. I prefer to find him immediately so we can protect him when it boils down to it. Hope we can reunite with Jordo and the others, but... Oh, we're gonna find Set and find out he's involved. I feel like we can't find out Set's involved too much until, like, maybe Nickel's route, because then what else are we gonna fucking find out in his route? We're not gonna know who the pirates are working for until we get into Razi's route, and then we'll find out he's the one that the pirates are working for. But, like, the only other reveal is that Set is involved And I think we already know that, but they can't have that reveal until you, like, if they do it now, what the fuck is coming on Nichols' route? Poor guy, he's already cardboard. He needs something good in his route, you know? Like, eh, what do you mean? I know everyone's important, but I wonder why Alan especially is worried about Set. Alan chuckles nervously. And the ship is a Sorcier ship, and the safety of important people are in the hands of Sorcier citizens. Of course, all other passengers are important, but Lord Norden is the premier of Quid. No matter if we're dealing with pirates, if he gets killed in this debacle, it'll become a diplomatic problem. I see. I think that's kind of funny. It's like, you let him get killed by pirates on your ship. It's like, it's not our fault that the pirates attack. You know what I mean? It isn't good that the pirates are after him. They may even hurt him. It's kind of like if, like, you are hanging out, you have another noble in your country, some other president or king or something, and you're like, cool. And then, like, all of a sudden, like, a meteorite crashes into the city and kills everyone, and they're like, you killed our king! It was a fucking rock from the sky. It had nothing to do with it, but because it happened on my land, it's suddenly my problem, and, like, we're responsible because, like, force of God? What the fuck? You get struck by lightning and it's my fault? Like, what the shit? Pirates are like a force of nature over here, okay? This is an act of God. You know what I mean? Like, they're other people, but they're not my people. In fact, they're your own people, Quid. Aren't they Quidian pirates? So, like, I don't feel like it's my problem that they killed your own premier. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. Diplomatic shit's bullshit, but it's so stupid. Anyway. It isn't good the pirates are after him. They may even hurt him. We have no choice. Let's go find him. Wait, we're gonna sneak out of the room? Staying here won't make things better. They're claiming they're after ransom, but I wouldn't be surprised if they also change their mind. It's hard to tell how serious they are. He did say they easily changed where they hunt. Since they took Ryle as a hostage, they seem to be prepared to do anything. So long as they'll benefit from it, they may just do anything. And besides, we were able to find the Marquis who's knowledgeable of this boat. I'd like to find Jordo and the others if we can. I can't protect everyone alone, but if I have them with me, we may be able to take back the ship. You have a point. Once we get Lord Norden, we'll head to Jordo's room and figure out a plan before we bump into Silva. I think you're gonna bump into Silva the second you, like, turn left on a corner, because he's always everywhere. And considering how he found us earlier, they may already be one step ahead of us. I think he's, like, all steps ahead of you. You're right. Ryle must have remembered the interrogation, causing his expression to tighten. If we escape this room, the pirates will be after us. Liliana looks worried for Ryle and his injuries. Why don't you guys stay here? The tension in the air feels heavy. Suddenly, Liliana lifts her head up. I mean, Liliana's got good magic. We could use her. But I just feel like 4 people running is going to be easier to catch than 2 people. And let these 2 lovebirds have a moment alone. There's a nice comfy bed over there. I'm sure you can, like, finally consummate your marriage. You know, I'm just saying, have some fun while there's pirates here. But I'll be the one by your side this time, Lord Ryle. I can fight too. I won't let them get their way. I do love that she's gonna, like, protect her man. I'm gonna use this snake toy to falter them. I take out the snake toy from my pocket, and Alan's mouth drops open in surprise before he bursts out laughing. Do you seriously walk around with that? Oh, I did make many revisions, and now I'm fond of it. That doesn't mean you should. Alan holds his mouth shut with his hand to prevent himself from exploding with laughter. Ryle tries to hide his surprise with an awkward cough. Anyway, if they get Lord Norden, we won't be able to move much. Let's go while we can. Honestly, I'm nervous about our fighting power, but I don't want anyone else to be held hostage. So I'd like for all of us to go together, but... Marquis, are you okay? Alan glances over at the injured Ryle. He still looks pale, but he nods firmly. Bert's been screaming downstairs because I came upstairs without him. He didn't seem to want to come with me, and now I can just hear him, like, shrieking and playing with his toys. He's not very active most of the time, but he has bells, but like you just hear shriek and the bells bang and the clang. Like, sorry, it's so funny. I hear you. I know I love you, buddy. You got a few minutes before I come downstairs. Alan glances over at the injured Ryle. He still looks pale, but he nods firmly. Yes, I was able to rest. I think I'm doing pretty good. I see. And no matter what we do, if we're going to escape again, the next time we're caught, who knows what will become of us? They did beat the Marquis pretty badly. Sorry. If we comply, they may be more forgiving. But if we resist, there's no telling what they'd do. This is very dangerous. Are you ready? Of course I am. Yes. I'm ready too. I would like to save Lord Set, but more importantly, I must protect Lord Ryle's ship. Liliana. Ryle and Liliana are about to go off in their own little world. Kind of reminds me of my parents. When I was a child, my mother misunderstood a situation and almost divorced my father, Keith. After things were clear, they would be in their own world like this from time to time. Because she thought Keith was his love child. Anyway, so, Murky, do you have any weapons? I do have a self-protection knife. A knife, huh? Not a good idea to inflict any fatal wounds. Is there anything we can use to just knock them out? And not really, but I do think we can use this to fight off the guard. Ryle takes out a small glass bottle. What is this? I call this an atomizer. And this is like an instant knockout medicine. If you spray someone with this, most of them won't be able to stand. Knockout medicine? Why do you have, to set out your plan, huh? Yes, however, this won't take your life or leave any poison behind in your body. It's strictly to knock someone out. He's like, I made sure no one would be poisoned because I don't want you dead. I wanted to sell you. And like, if I killed you, that would defeat the purpose. Good for that, I guess? You can directly spray it at them or put it on a handkerchief and make them inhale with their mouth and nose for faster results. Covering the mouth and nose with a handkerchief. I remember reading about this often in my past life in manga. It's called something like chloro something. Really don't know what chloroform is? Come on. I think they had something like that in this world too. I've lived pretty comfortably all my life, never having to deal with an abduction situation before. I really hope so. And I really hope for everyone that you can live comfortably in your life, at least in the sense of never having to deal with an abduction situation, aside from watching it on TV. Okay? Like, God. Jesus. I feel like I've been seeing how dark of a world this really is. Especially after the pirate attacks. It makes me feel cold. Thank God you don't have TV, the internet, or news. We're still being attacked by pirates, but even if that didn't happen, we would have been sold off, right? The pirates are helping. Alright. Have some faith and keep calm and have faith in Silva, man. There are way too many doom flags. I recall that this world can be from the Fortune Lover fan disc. Rod, I totally forgot about that dream! Oh, Maria, you thought you'd be the only one to become happy? Wrong! It's true, we haven't seen any other scenes. Katarina's back as her villainous self. Silva and the Vinculum were there. I thought it was just a dream, but there are too many coincidences. I wonder what Maria's up to now. If this is a fan disc from an Otome game, there has to have been an event or two by now. Problem is, whose route are we on? This kind of lingering question is a problem if left unattended. With that in mind, I stand up and begin to conduct my own strategy meeting. Another one? Okay, hold on. I'm going to cheat because I'm going to see... Okay, no, we don't have to save for this one, so it's fine. Now let us begin our strategy meeting! But first, let us gather all the information. If we are in the fan disc timeline, we need to figure out whose route we're on. Yeah, but we're not with Maria. It's hard to tell. I wonder which route is a doom for Katarina. In the game, she had a doom end in both Jordo and Keith's route. I think there's a high chance for that in the fan disc. Keith is in the infirmary, so I would assume Jordo and Nickel would be with Maria currently. Then there's a chance she could be falling in love with Jordo. That'll trigger a doom flag. What are we gonna do? Oh, it'll be fine. We can be in a secret character route where she's in love with Silva. Whoa, don't touch my fucking pirate. But it hasn't been decided that Silva's the secret character. Oh, you're right. There are chances that other characters can be the secret character. If Silva isn't a secret character, then who else is suspicious? Rosie and Frederick, maybe? Come to think of it, Frederick went to go look for Set and wandered off on his own. There could even be an event where he bumps into Maria. So we have to watch out for 3 characters. It'll be difficult to come up with a countermeasure. Then we should see if they have any weaknesses, like a snake for Jordo. We can use it during an emergency. I think it's better that we're on good terms with... Oh no, wait, what? Fearless Katarina said that we should see if they have any weaknesses. And then it says Fearless Katarina was just talking here, but I feel like it was supposed to be Timid Katarina. Because I don't think Fearless Katarina would be like, I'm going to read it like Timid Katarina, because I feel like this is more a counterpoint to what Fearless Katarina just said. I think it's better that we're on good terms with 3. We can ask whether they've seen Maria or not. I agree! Then... 1 vote to discover their weaknesses, 1 vote to befriend the 3, and it's discover their weaknesses. Are we all in favor of finding the weaknesses of the potential 3 secret characters? Aye! Phew! Think I've come to a conclusion. Now that I'm done with my strategy meeting, I feel a sense of satisfaction. I love the strategy meetings, it's so fun. Alan cocks his head in confusion while looking at me. What are you thinking so hard about? Are you hungry? Oh, well, I was trying to imagine what kind of doom... Huh? Anyway, I need to know how far her romance story is progressing. I have to find Maria, or else the villainous Katarina will find herself in a doom end. Need to hang in there. I don't get it, but let's just first find Lord Norden. And do you have any idea, Marquis Ryle? It appears he hasn't entered any of the hidden rooms, so let's head to the room he's staying in. There I'll be able to access the magic device you can use to call for help. What? Really? Yes, I installed it under His Majesty's wish. He said it was unnerving to know there's only one on the bridge. I believe he's also prepared a small boat for an emergency evacuation. He sure is prepared. Many ships associated with His Majesty have been attacked several times. He's always on high alert. I guess Quid's a lot more barbaric than I thought. Nah, I think they're after Set because he's a douche. We certainly don't hear about any Sorcier ships ever getting attacked by pirates. Yeah, it feels like a personal thing. I nod as we discuss what we should do after we escape this room. A few minutes after deciding on a few minor details, we put our plan into action. Maybe Set's involvement's going to come up more in Nickel's route, but why exactly the pirates target him, because it seems like he was the one panting down the hall about merchant ships, and if it's his merchant ships the pirates are always attacking, it seems like that's a personal vendetta, so we would find out more about that in Silva's route, you'd think, but... Then we'll use the atomizer to help Prince Alan and I take down the guard. You 2 should stand in the corner of the room and cover your mouths with a handkerchief so you don't inhale this chemical. Okay, got it. We rushed to get ready and I put my hand in my pocket, however I can't find a handkerchief. Crap, I don't have Anne with me, so I forgot to carry one on me. I freeze as I put my hand in my pockets. Liliana giggles and offers me the handkerchief from earlier. Here, Lady Katarina, use this. Thank you. Oh, Lady Liliana, you seem to have dropped your handkerchief again. Oh. I pick up the handkerchief and offer it to her. Liliana blushes after receiving it. It's probably his. Thank you, Lady Katarina. Are you falling in love with me? Girl, I don't know what the hell I'm spraying all over everybody. It's his handkerchief, I bet. Liliana bashfully accepts the handkerchief. Ryle's watching from the side and for some reason gasps suddenly. That's... Oh! Aha! There's something behind this! We get a memory scenario? The day I fell in love. I'm assuming that's between Ryle and, This is Ryle and Lady Lily. Whose brain is this in? Anyway, I'm sure this. Oh, Lady Liliana, you seem to have dropped your handkerchief again. Oh. Oh. Oh, okay, she's remember. Okay, no. This is okay. That was supposed to mean. Oh, Lady Liliana, you seem to have dropped your handkerchief again. They don't usually start like this, so I was confused. Upon Lady Katerina's prompting, I realized I dropped my precious handkerchief once more. To think I would drop it not once, but twice, and in front of Lord Ryle. Thank you, Lady Katerina. I thank her in an attempt to quickly retrieve it, but it's too late. Is that... Sensing Lord Ryle's gaze, I slowly turned to look back, and our eyes meet. Feeling suddenly embarrassed, I quickly hide the cloth behind me. Did he realize it's the same handkerchief he had given me at the time? Did he realize just how much I've cherished it? Stop it! It's adorable. When I was young, I never liked to participate in family gatherings. The Werder family takes pride in their bloodline of magical prowess, and this is true even in the branch families. I was born into one of these branches, and although I never asked for it, I was born with the strongest magic powers in a generation, so they like cousins. Alright. My parents had an influential voice within the family and intended to marry me off to someone with strong magic. Then I might give birth to a powerful magical user who could be adopted into the main house. This was because the current heir had no magic at all. If my future child had strong magic, they would take over the Werder family in lieu of Lord Ryle. That was my parents' plan. Perhaps they sensed it, or perhaps because everyone had the same idea as my parents, the boys my age often tried to approach me. I was hardly happy about it. I knew I was merely a stepping stone in their ambitions to gain status with the head family. Like, if I knock her up, I'm gonna be like the man. Gross. Jesus. And this sounds like it's her own family hitting her. Ew. Firstly, I knew they held no love for me. They were just following their parents' desires. Though I was but a child, I already grew tired of my situation in family gatherings. My parents were insistent. That day, the boys were making their advances as usual at one of the yearly held gatherings. Seriously, did they just give up already? To begin with, they only saw me as a girl with powerful magic. There was no way I would ever marry such thoughtless men. If only they understood that. As I tried to evade them, I accidentally encountered Lord Ryle. Lord Ryle? Lord Ryle's eyes widened when he saw me. He must have known my face, just as I knew his. We were relatives, and so I had seen him from a distance at these gatherings from time to time. I mean, they could be like second cousins or whatever, but they still somehow cousins. But the reason he recognized me, I guessed, was because he knew well that Liliana was the tool being used to push him aside. My parents would often disparage Lord Ryle in order to boast about my magical powers at these gatherings. It was extremely awkward to meet him, considering that. He had every right to be upset with me. I mentally prepared myself to be insulted, but Lord Ryle said nothing. Rather, he simply looked away, completely ignoring me. No one had ever done that to me before. Wow. Damn. No one's ever ignored me before. I'm totally into it. Girl, simmer down. In shock, I called out to him without thinking. Please wait. As I shouted, I remembered I'd been hiding from the boys and quickly silenced myself. However, they seemed to have heard my voice. I heard them coming closer. What should I do? As I looked around for a place to hide, Lord Ryle silently grabbed my hand. Without a word, he led me to a nearby room and hid me there. He probably understood my situation from my expression alone. Crouched beneath the desk, I heard the boy's footsteps in the hall outside. Oh, it's the good-for-nothing. Have you seen Liliana? Ha, as if she'd have anything to do with the likes of you. Yeah, he's got no class or magic powers. Are you sure you're really the Marquis's son? That's so rude. The Boys jabbed Lord Ryle with terrible insults and barbed words, but he never got angry or fought back. He endured everything without a word of complaint, holding everything inside, and maybe if he let it out for a therapist, he wouldn't have wanted to kidnap everybody. I'm just saying. It couldn't be. Has he always been insulted like this? Down I already knew. I heard so many foul-mouthed insults about him, a worder with no magic at home as well. Lord Ryle likely had to deal with such insults every day. How did he really feel? During it all whilst being completely alone? As I tried to imagine it, my eyes began to well up with tears. Oh dear, this is terrible. I heard the boys leave the room, seemingly satisfied. Even though I knew they were gone, I couldn't leave my spot. Lord Ryle must have wondered why I didn't appear. He came to check on me under the desk. He seemed completely caught off guard to find me in tears. Why are you crying? Lord Ryle's voice, I never knew it was so gentle. Silent Lord Ryle spoke to me for the first time. I felt the sincerity and the warmth of his voice. He was different from the boys my age who were only interested in my power. Why did such a kind, selfless person have to be insulted like that? The tears wouldn't stop. Because they were so rude to... Without a word, Lord Ryle quietly crouched down and handed me a handkerchief. My heart was a torrent of emotions. I gladly accepted it and wiped the tears streaming down my cheeks. Lord Ryle remained at my side while I did. He stayed until my tears had stopped. He didn't utter a single word the entire time. But I already knew that he had a kind heart and truly cared for others. That's how I fell in love with him that day. I kind of like getting their backstory. I'm not gonna lie. I love it. Aha! There's something behind this. My womanly instincts have awakened after seeing their reaction. Liliana hides her handkerchief from Ryle, who clearly seems to recognize it. There must be a special memory behind that handkerchief. I just know it. I'm prepared. Let's get started. Huh. Did something happen? You're such a child if you don't realize what's going on, Prince Alan. What's your problem? Nothing. You don't need to understand. Let's start. And we'll start the pirate running from the pirates in the next part. Because we're over time and my bird is whining now. He's down there. Just fucking... I try so hard to ignore him, but it's very fucking hard. He's just downstairs crying because he's sad because I haven't been with him in an hour. It's been an hour since he hasn't seen me. This is why you can't go to the bathroom alone when you have a bird. Like, seriously, I go to walk around the corner, he's like, and he's like, where did you go? You were gone for 32 seconds. I was worried. Oh, God. He is like little or like, he's such a fucking weirdo. If he's sitting and snuggling on the couch and I go pee, you could just hear him like calling out. You're like, I'm literally just in the bathroom. Simmer down. I know. I am. I'm talking about you. You're such a brat. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.